Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 67 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on spontaneity. So, yay for day 67. Um, more continued drama, spontaneity things from yesterday. So, last night I kind of had a feeling that some of the police action craziness that I mentioned in my video had to do with my landlord and or his roommate. And I didn't hear his roommate all night, so it was nice and quiet, which was really awesome, but really weird because it kind of freaked me out. Because one, I know I don't sleep well when there's noise, but I'm kind of used to the noise. I've been dealing with it for over a year, almost 2 years. So I'm kind of, it's kind of like I expect it, and then I kind of have to get myself to sleep through it. So then it becomes like one of those safety things for me where it's like, okay, I know the noise is there. So then I'm like, okay. And then I have to make sure I'm safe, and then I'm okay. And then I can go to sleep. And now the noise is gone. And I'm like, yay, the noise is gone. I'm so happy. And now I can't sleep because I'm expecting to have some kind of weird noises. And so I keep like listening for all the noises that are outside my house and freaking out to every little noise and sound and whatever. And it's driving me crazy. So gotta love the whole paranoia and anxiety thing. That's just part of life and part of PTSD. So for me anyway, maybe that doesn't bother other people whatsoever, and that's awesome, and I'm so jealous. So jealous. So anyway, there's all of that. But then I kind of thought, okay, whatever it was, I don't know anything, and I haven't talked to my landlord, and I'm just not going to worry about it. So then I was getting up to go to my doctor's appointment and do all of my stuff for today, and I looked out the window and there's a cop car at my house again. And I could hear voices on the other side, and I wasn't sure if my landlord's roommate was back or not. And so I was like, there's something going on and I don't know what it is, and I have to go see my doctor because it's the last follow-up for my leg that had the blood clots in it. So I have to go do that. So I went to my appointment, and on the way to the appointment, I thought I will just message some of the brothers in my ward, the bishop and the elders quorum president, just because they're, well, just so the bishop is aware if he wasn't already, which apparently he already was, because I sent him a text and said, hey, did you know there were some police cars in my house last night and again tonight, and maybe somebody should check on my landlord because I don't know what's going on over there. And he's like, oh yeah, I already talked to him. I'll talk to him again, but thanks for letting me know. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I text the elders quorum president because he's over all of the brothers, the men in the ward, to make sure that they're okay. So I just thought I would let him know that there's something going on. I don't know exactly what it was. And I'm like, I'll just let it go. It's okay. And then I went to my doctor's appointment, and apparently he moved. So I was like, what? So I showed up. This is the building I have been going to for the past 4 months. I show up to the same building, and they're like, oh no, his office is over there at the building behind us. So you have to like go out to that other building. It's like, if you just go out to the street in your car and turn left and then make an immediate left into the other building. And I was like, well, I'm just going to walk because I need to exercise and I haven't been exercising. So I'm like, what the heck? I'll just walk over there. And of course, there's 2 other buildings over there, and they're in like Suite 11, which happens to be at the far end of the second building. And I was like, oh, I'm walking really far. But by the time I realized that I was already in the parking lot for the other place, and I'm like, it's going to take me just as long or longer to go back and get my car to drive over here. So then I get in there thinking I'm like super late for my appointment. And then I get in, she's like, oh, just check your temperature again, which I did the first place because I make you check temperatures now at the doctor's office. And then they're like, just have a seat and we got you all checked in. And I'm like, oh, okay. So apparently the first place I went to called and told me I was over at the other place. So now I don't know where I'm going on my appointment on the 29th because it's all been in the same building, and I don't know if it's moved to the other office, to the new office now or not. And then I ended up having to sit there for like almost an hour for this appointment. And then the doctor tells me we could have done like a teleconference, or we could have just done it over the phone. We didn't actually need to come in person. And I was like, really? That's really super annoying. But basically we just talked about it, and he basically told me that I'm good as long as I don't have any more problems with my leg, and because it was an injury and because I'm still young, or young enough, which is nice, I could just taper off the aspirin over the next several months. So hopefully by February, somewhere between February and April, I will be completely off of taking aspirin. So, but he doesn't want me to go off immediately because, of course, we just want to keep making things cleaned out to make sure I don't get any new blood clots while my leg still continues to heal. And of course, he said this could take damage like that could take 18 months. And before I was told a year, and I was like, it's been 6 months, 7 months since I injured myself, but probably only about 5 months since I found out I had blood clots, maybe 5.5 months. I don't know. Anyway, So kind of annoying that it's like, oh, let's see how much longer this is going to take to heal. And I'm like, I just wanted to stop hurting and be all better. But anyway, it's getting there. It's not nearly as painful as it used to be, but it still does a little dull ache thing and wake me up thing, which is kind of an annoying thing. But it's getting there. So, and I'm off the blood thinners, which makes me so happy. And I'm tapering off the aspirin. I get to taper off the aspirin over the next 5 or 6 months, which also makes me very happy. So yay for all of that. So totally worth the walk. And then of course I went back to my car. Oh, I went to leave and I went to pay because I was planning on paying. And the last time I saw the doctor, they said they would send me a bill, which they never did. And then this time I went to leave and she told me I had a balance owing, and I'm like, cool. And she's like, but I'm new here and I can't take payments, so you're just gonna have to, we'll just have to send you a bill again. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I have to pay the doctor at some point, but I don't know how much I owe him because they're gonna send me a bill because they can't take my payment. So more fun spontaneity things. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm happy with that. So then I went to work. Back to the crazy police action things I wish I did not know. Things I'm not going to get into detail with in these videos because it's really not that important. But basically, I got a text message back from the Elders Quorum president letting me know that my landlord was not staying in his side of the house and that maybe it wasn't a good idea for me to stay in my house, my side of the house. And I was like, why is it not a good idea for me to stay in my side of the house? I'm like, you don't understand. I have PTSD. I have anxiety. I have panic attacks. You can't tell me things like this and freak me out, especially when I'm at work. Don't do this to me. Like, I have nowhere else to go. I'm working in the middle of the night. I am not waking people up at 2 o'clock in the morning so I could sleep somewhere else. I'm not paying for a hotel. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I had to take a break from work so I could call and find out what's going on and yada, yada, yada. And apparently there was my landlord's roommate that makes all that noise that I don't like, got very aggressive, and basically the police were called on him and he was taken into police custody, and my landlord has basically evicted him, which is fantastic. So he's gone, but he had to be allowed back into the house today, which is why the police came back today to get some of his things. He had like 10 minutes to get whatever stuff he wanted, and that was it. And then he's screwed. He can't come back. So he loses all of his stuff. I'm like, well, that sucks for him. It really does suck for him because I'm sure he has a lot of stuff. And my landlord doesn't really want to keep his stuff either. But anyway, so my landlord's okay. I'm okay. The house is fine. The dude has like a restraining order. He can't ever come back here unless he's escorted by the police, and it's only to get his stuff, which he did today. So basically, I'm perfectly safe. It was perfectly fine for me to come home, for me to spend the night, for me to be here. It wasn't a scary situation. He was just choosing not to stay here because he was kind of freaked out about the incident. But I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly safe, just having to deal with. But it's all of that information that I think, my bishop was very wise in not telling me what was going on and just telling me that he talked to my landlord and everything was okay. And then I found out what's going on, and then it freaked me out, and my anxiety has been like through the roof. And then I'm just like all paranoid and listening to noises. Is there going to be anybody in my house? Am I going to hear anybody over on the other side? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's like, oh my gosh, brain turn off, anxiety turn off. I am okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. God is taking care of me. I am being protected. And I am so grateful for the little reminders about how much God is taking care of me and protecting me and loving me. And the fact that I wasn't even here yesterday when the whole incident happened and I missed all of that. So I've only got my landlord's version of what happened, because I did end up calling my landlord just to make sure that he was okay and make sure that he got the money I left for him, because I was like, I don't know what happened with all of that crazy that was going on. So it's all okay. Everything's fine. I don't know what happened to the roommate. He's gone, can't come back. So that's fine too. So it's just a matter of me processing all of this and getting it out of my system and remembering that I'm perfectly safe. I've been perfectly safe, and this person has no reason to come back or to come after me. So it's just my crazy, paranoid, anxious brain that, which is sometimes I think is good for being a writer, because I have a really vivid, active imagination of what things are going to happen or could happen. The only downside to that is that I get my heart rate up, I get my blood pressures up, my blood pressure's going up because of all of this. So it's just kind of like too much is going on and I need to just chill. So I'm having a hard time letting it go, even though I know it's okay and I'm okay. And it's one of those oxymoron things. Maybe it's not an oxymoron, maybe that's not the right terminology for it, but it's one of those frustrating things where it's like my brain knows one thing and then my emotions are like, we don't care. That's what happens when you have panic attacks or anxiety attacks, is your emotions, your nervous system, it goes completely crazy and you start freaking out. And even though your mind is like mentally telling you, it's okay, calm down, you're fine, breathe, your body is like, I can't do this, I'm shaking, I can't breathe, I'm panicking, I'm panting, I'm just like, it's really annoying. And so it's always nice to have somebody to help, to be like, okay, calm down, look around the room, see where you're at. That's what my counselor used to remind me to do, is calm down, look around the room, see where you're at, just get oriented with where you're at and what you're doing and focus on just the moment. And it kind of helps to break up all of that. But sometimes when I'm in my little anxious space, I forget to just breathe and look at all of those things. So I am very grateful for the blessing that I got from the bishop yesterday, and for the for the video for yesterday, and for all of the little reminders of the things that God has blessed me with and taken care of me, and that I am safe and it's okay. So all of those things, and writing in my journal seems to be helping a little bit, but my anxiety is still high. So I am hoping it will go down sooner than later, and I'm hoping that maybe by sharing all of this, because sometimes sharing it just helps to help me to calm down, to help put things in their proper perspective, to help my body to see, hey, we're okay. Like verbally say it out loud that I'm okay. So anyway, a lot of unnecessary drama and anxiety in my life caused by things that have nothing to do with me. And so I am trying to do my best to stay away from all of that. And like I said, I wasn't here when any of it happened. So, and none of it's directly affected me, other than it's just, now it's a lot quieter and I don't feel like I have to walk on eggshells in my house to keep from excess noise going off. So I'm like, yay, I like that very much. So I am very, very grateful for that, and grateful to know that I am safe, and grateful to know that that drama is basically over. I hope it's basically over. So that is the end of my trauma, whatever that's going on in my brain. Now, if I could just get my body to let go of it, that would be fantastic. If anybody has any suggestions on how I can get my body to let go of all that, that would be fantastic too. But that's all that I have for today. So if you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude, and maybe find something fun and spontaneous to do.